Hello friend, welcome. My name is Kendra, and today is class 2 of a 7-week series that I'm doing on the 7 chakras. Today's chakra that we are going to focus on is the Svadhisthana chakra, the sacral chakra, dealing with creativity, ease, and flow. This is a live recorded class outdoors, and my camera dies at the end of this class, so we'll switch to a different setting to finish out in Svadhisthana. I hope you enjoy as you follow along. All right, well, welcome. Thanks for being here for week 2. You're more than welcome to stand or have a seat while I go through just kind of our second chakra for today or for this series. Welcome, welcome. As I've said before, any things that come up in outdoor yoga, just try to stay centered. Any noises or any things that come across the mat. It's about accepting and welcoming it all into your practice. So today we are going through the second chakra in our series, the Svadhisthana chakra or Svadhisthana chakra. It's kind of pronounced both ways. As a reminder, chakras are where the nadis, where the energy lines in our bodies converge, so that it creates these energetic epicenters that have different associations, different qualities about them. In yoga, we are practicing alignment of our body, our postures and asana, but also alignment with our mind, body, breath, and spirit. So aligning the layers of our being is the practice of yoga. In yoga focused on chakras, we're aligning the energy of these energetic epicenters to be more fully present in our experiences and in how and who we want to show up as in the world. So our Svadhisthana chakra is our sacral chakra. So our Muladhara chakra was our base, our root. The Svadhisthana chakra is the sacrum, so womb area. This energy of this chakra deals with creativity, reproduction, pleasure, and flow. So something to note with this chakra, especially as we engage with it and move and focus on this area, is that it's also highly involved in our emotions. So it's normal during your practice as well to have emotions arise. So with that, use your breath, be present with the emotion. If anything gets too overwhelming, you're more than welcome to take a break, step off the mat if you need to. It doesn't happen very often, but it can, and I want to let you know about that. The physical body of our pelvis is 3 parts. So we have the sacrum, and then you have 2 hip bones attached to that, your iliums, right? You're right here. And these are supposed to move separate. They can move together, but they also should be able to move separate of each other, rotation-wise, front and back, up and down. A lot of times, this junction where our lower body and our upper body meet can store a lot of tension. It deals with a lot. So we're going to be gentle with it, but we're also going to encourage that movement, that flow, right? That ease of energy and movement through that area. There's a quote by Janina Terzi that says, yoga practices that treat the pelvis like a unified block constrict the energy of that second chakra, right? Because if you're timid around it and you're just keeping it right here, that's not flow, that's restriction. And in our society, this area can hold a lot of shame or a lot of grief. So in today's practice, we're going to be working on giving permission for ease, freedom, pleasure, movement in this area. All right, I'm just gonna go to my email. So the element associated with this chakra is water, very with that flow of creativity and ease. The color of that chakra is orange. And again, the meditation part of it is creativity, pleasure, flow, ease. In today's practice, we're going to be using Ujjayi breath again, because when you do exhale, make that whooshing sound, sometimes it's called ocean breath, because you make this ocean kind of sound with your throat. We'll be using the seed sound or the mantra VAM, V-A-M. That's the sound of this chakra, and we'll use it in our centering. And then we'll be using a hand gesture, a mudra or a seal. And this one is connecting the pinky and the thumb, leaving the other 3 fingers up. They will try to curl in, but without being super rigid, we try to keep those fingers straight. Your pinky finger is your water element. Your thumb is your fire element. And then some of the poses that we're going to practice today is Baddha Konasana, which is a seated bound angle, so feet together, knees wide, again, expressing openness for the pelvis. We'll also be practicing Warrior 3, which is a balancing pose. And what I want to note for this pose is that we try to keep the hips will kind of, rotate, find their equilibrium, but we want to try to keep both hip points pointing the ground. So I'm going to show you a couple of ways to get into Warrior 3 and what to expect. So with balancing poses, we always want our gaze to be focused on one point. That helps us to balance. We want a firm base with the planted foot, so spreading the toes wide, soft knee. So Warrior 3 is everything traveling in a line, balancing over one leg. We're going to press this back leg, so flex the toes. Press it back, keeping the chest lifted, trying to get spine horizontal to the ground. But it's okay if we're here, if we're just working on tapping here, or if we start from the ground, have a block out in front, and come here, totally fine. I also have the option, if you really want it, to have a chair out in front as well. And then both hands on the chair, one leg up, like so. So before we get started, if you'd like to grab a chair, you totally can. It's just, they're pretty light, but something that you'll need to move in and out if you need to. With our breath practice today in our centering, we're going to be layering on to our Ujjayi breath. So last time I talked about Mula Bandha, scooping in and up with the pelvic floor and holding here, so squeezing in the glutes, squeezing in the muscles of the pelvic floor. We're going to also be doing a box breath, so where we inhale for a count of 7, hold for a count of 7, exhale, count of 7, hold for a count of 7. And when we exhale, we'll do the Ujjayi and Mula Bandha. Does that make sense? Okay. I'll guide us all through it. I know it's a lot of information up front, so just be with it. Let what lands land, and anything else, I'll be there to instruct. I think that is everything I want to say before we get started. Just remember that this is a practice, not a performance. It's about being with yourself, learning about yourself, being centered, adapt anything as you need to. So we're going to start seated today. I personally like to sit on a block, but you can sit any way that is comfortable for you. Cross-legged, legs extended, kneeling. And then as we're here, I really invite you to find your sits bones underneath you. Maybe rock back and forth or side to side. Letting the pelvis, this Svadhisthana chakra, find some motion as we root down to the ground. And then as you find your center, align the belly button over the bowl of the pelvis. Lift slightly up through the chest, letting the shoulders fall down the back. And reaching the neck and crown tall. Hands can be softly on the knees, interlaced in the lap. Palms up, palms down, whatever is comfortable here. And then I invite you to soften your gaze, either out in front of you or close the eyes if that's comfortable. Starting here, bringing our bodies, our minds, our spirits into this space to practice together. Feeling the breeze, hearing the sounds, feeling the sensation of the mat underneath you or the clothing on your body. And then I invite you to gently scan up and down your body. Day to day, moment to moment, how we feel is different. So scanning the physical body here, from the toes up the legs, through the arms, through the neck, the back, just noticing what is present. Noticing any areas that might be tight or calling for your attention. Letting those areas know that you're here for them, that you'll be gentle as you move. And also feeling the areas that might feel fluid, light. Knowing that we're going to be expanding that feeling throughout the body, letting those areas grow. Now coming into the sense of our breath, in and out through the nose, starting to widen the breath, letting the diaphragm draw down into the bowl of the pelvis, widen through the ribs, maybe lengthen the spine. And then as you exhale through the nose, finding that softening, that recoil, slowing down the exhale here as well. We'll find a few more rounds just of this simple breath before we move into our box breath and Ujjayi practice. Our breath is our prana. It is our energy. All of the cells in our body use oxygen to be alive. Our breath is always with us. It's such a simple, quotation marks, simple act, a mundane act, but yet it is the act that keeps us alive. So again, to reiterate, we will be inhaling for a count of 7, holding for a count of 7, Ujjayi, out for a count of 7, and again, holding for a count of 7. As we exhale out, we'll scoop in and up with the pelvic floor muscles as if you're holding your bladder, and then release after that exhale is done for the hold. So starting with empty lungs, exhale out all the air from the lungs. And we will be doing 7 rounds of this. Strong inhale through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold at the top. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Open or close mouth. Exhale out Ujjayi. Scoop in and up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Release the Mula Bandha. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale. Keep it regulated, not all at once. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale Ujjayi Mula Bandha. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Release and hold the empty breath. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale out Ujjayi Mula Bandha. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pause at the bottom, release. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale in, 4th round. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, Ujjayi Mula Bandha. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pause at the bottom, release. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 more rounds. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold at the top. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, Ujjayi, nice and slow. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold, pause at the bottom. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale through the nose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pause at the top. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ujjayi Mula Bandha. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last round. Inhale. Nice and tall. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ujjayi Mula Bandha. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pause at the bottom. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. Release the control of the breath. Take a moment to notice how the body feels, how your mind feels. It's not often that we control the breath this way, but it helps to regulate our energy. Good. I invite you to take your Varun Mudra, connecting pinky and thumb together. You can either have the 3 fingers facing up gently on the knees, or you can hold them up facing forward if that's comfortable for you. This mudra helps to increase that water element, that flow in our bodies. We're also going to be chanting Vam together for 7 rounds. Vam, the seed sound of the Svadhisthana chakra. So again, taking an inhale together through the nose, and we'll hold on the M sound as you exhale out. Vam. Letting the sound fade out with the breath. Inhale through the nose. Vam. Three more rounds. Strong inhale. 2 more times. Inhale. Vam. Bringing those vibrations to the sacral chakra. Last one. Vam. Release the hands down to the knees or the lap. Return to in and out breath through the nose. Once again, seeing if this sound has shifted anything in your body, your mind today. And then bringing your attention to the area of your sacrum, of your sacral chakra, right above our root, the place we are all born from. And I'd like you to notice what is present there, physically, emotionally. Is there anything holding or resisting that doesn't need to? Often resistance is a defense mechanism, and that's okay and needed in some times. But we want to let this area know that it is safe with us. It can trust us. We can move freely, creatively, and have pleasure throughout our lives. I invite you to set an intention for this area today. And that might be whatever you need. Maybe you'd like to be more creative. Maybe you'd like to let something go. Maybe you'd like to just connect deeper with this area, this energy. With this intention in mind, take one more breath. Inhale through the nose. We'll ujjayi out, setting that intention into your sacral chakra. Go ahead and guide some light into the eyes. We'll get started with our movement. So here on the mat, bring the arms out to the sides. Inhale up, circle, sweep the arms up, look up. As you exhale, have the hands meet and pull to heart center. Good, 2 more times, just awakening the body, awakening the breath with our movement. Exhale, pull the hands down. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay, I just want to make sure over the noises of the birds. Inhale up. Exhale down. Great, we'll take that one more time. Inhale, raise the arms up. This time though, drop the right hand down. Place it on the mat, soft elbow as we lean that left arm up and over. Try to keep that elbow pulled back, keep the neck long. So pulling the shoulders down and reaching the neck away. And then inhaling into that open left side, maybe rotating the head to look up towards the top elbow. And then down towards the planted hand, getting some neck rotation. One more time, looking up. And looking down. Good. Press into the mat to switch arms. Inhale as you raise. Right arm up. Left arm plants this time. Exhale to reach it up and over. Breathing into the right side, maybe looking up to the top elbow, and then down at the planted hand. Good, one more time, looking both directions, breathing deep, moving that rib cage. Good, press into the bottom hand and we'll flow. Inhale, right arm down, left arm up and over. Exhale to switch. Inhale as the arm comes up and over. Exhale, switch. Find your own pace with your breath. You don't have to match me, but we'll take this about 3 more times each side. Awakening that flow of movement, of breath, of prana. Maybe every time top arm's on top, we look up towards that elbow. Soft bend in that planted elbow. Don't worry about the count. Just worry about the ease. And find one more on each side. Good. Coming back to center. Bring the hands to the knees. With your next inhale, draw the elbows back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift the chest looking up. So hands are going to move back towards the hips, elbows pointing back. As you exhale, slide the hands back to the knees. Curl the shoulders, the belly, tuck the chin and the tail. We're finding a seated cat-cow. So inhale, lead with the chest. Up as the hands travel back, looking up. Exhale to round, pulling the belly button in towards the spine, tucking the tail, chin, shoulders. Good. Inhale to lift into our seated cow. Exhale, round the spine, widening through the shoulder blades for cat. 2 more. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale to rise. And exhale, cat. Great. Come back to center, long spine. Inhale, circle sweep the arms up to the sky, looking up. As you exhale, we're going to turn to the right. Left hand to the right thigh or knee. Right hand reaches behind you, perhaps for the mat, perhaps for your low back. We're twisting open to the right. Now, as we find our twists, again, a position that our body doesn't take very often. If you feel a lot of resistance here, just simply come out. We want to be able to take deep breaths here. If you'd like, you can also rotate the head to peek over the right shoulder, guiding the eyes to the corners of the eyes here, letting the shoulders be soft, meeting any resistance with our breath and inviting it to let go. 1 more. With your next inhale, raise both arms up, untwist, come back through center, looking up. And exhale as we twist left, right hand to left knee, left hand behind you. Side to side, we might be different. Might need to take different options, different depths, that's okay. Find where you can take a deep breath, sit up tall, and then maybe rotate the neck, the chin to look over the left shoulder. Good. 1 more deep breath here, and we'll flow again between the 2 positions. With the next inhale, reach up, come to center. Exhale, twist to the right. Good. Inhale up to center. Exhale, twist left, lowering the arms down. We'll take 1 more each way. Inhale up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, twist left. Great. Inhale, raise the arms to return back to center, and then drop the arms back down onto the knees. So here, we're going to find some motion with the pelvis. We're going to rock ourselves over the sits bones in a little circle. Hinging forward, trying to maintain that upright spine, but letting it create circles over the pelvis. Go ahead and reverse those circles. Awakening that energy of the Svadhisthana chakra. That flow, that ease, that creativity. Good. We'll come back through center. Switching our position of our legs, we'll find our first Baddha Konasana, our bound angle. So placing the feet together, letting the knees come out to either side, and you're welcome to support if you need to here, or to hold the ankles, and then we'll take a little butterfly flap. Yes. movement, this gentle pulsing, helps the body feel relaxed and more comfortable, helps to open these inner thigh areas. Good. Pause that flap. Inhale, sit up tall, and then exhale, hinge over the feet. You don't have to go very far. Listen to your body. Keeping the spine nice and tall. It's very easy to collapse here in the chest and round, but try to pull that chest forward. You're welcome to flap here if you need to, or rock. Taking deep breaths, sending it down the back and into the pelvis. Take one more. Good. With the next inhale, we'll sit up and we'll switch positions to all fours. Now, everybody's got a block. That's good. During this practice, we will be doing some hip mobility work, so a little less. It's not a yoga pose, but it does help us access the pelvis really well. For now, let's start in tabletop. Hands spread wide or soft fists under the shoulders, soft elbows, knees stacked under the hips. Cat-cow here. Inhale, belly drops low, chest comes forward, and maybe we look up, flaring that tail back. Exhale, press the mat away with the hands, curl the belly in, dome through the upper back. Tuck the tail and chin for cat pose. Inhale to cow, pulling everything down and forward. Exhale, cat. Nice and round, pressing the mat away. 2 more. At any time during your practice, you can utilize Ujjayi. Good. As you're ready, returning back to center. Now we're going to take some rotations of the hip here. So in tabletop, we'll start by just lifting the left leg out to the side. Flex the toes as if you're coming up to a fire hydrant. And then lower the knee back down. So we squeeze the glute here. Inhale, lift the knee, shining the inside of the knee towards the ground. And exhale it back in. Use the core. Inhale to lift. And then from here, send the knee back, rotating it in underneath the body towards the left elbow, and then out to the side, creating some big or small circles, rotating in and under, and then out to the side. Nice and controlled, in and under. And then we're going to reverse the circles. So sending the knee back this time, out to the side, shining the inner knee down, and then towards left elbow and underneath us. 2 more times this direction. Great work. 1 more time. And then meeting with this leg, this knee back underneath us in tabletop. With that same leg, left leg, we're going to extend it back onto the toes. So have a straight line, straight leg here. We're going to inhale, lift it up, about in line with the hips, pull the chest forward, look forward. Exhale it down. Good. 2 more. Inhale to lift up. Exhale down. Inhale it up. Exhale down. Good. Inhale it up. This time, holding it here, turn the toes out and then in. So we're rotating that hip joint in its socket. Take 2 more times, rotating out and in, out and in, and then bring that leg back underneath you. Take a moment to reestablish tabletop here. Move anything around that you need to. That was just a lot of control in the hips and the legs and the core. Now we're going to tuck the left toes under, keeping the knee bent. With an inhale, we're going to send the heel, the foot to the sky. Now pulling that chest forward we find our tiger pose. The next exhale, we'll lower down. 2 more. Inhale, drive the heel up, squeeze the glute. Try to keep both hips facing the mat. Exhale down. Good, we'll take 1 more. Tiger, looking forward, and exhale down. Great, again, any adjustments that you need to make, we're gonna take all of that on the other side. Soft fists, also again, option if you need here. We're going to take the right leg this time and start with our fire hydrants. So take an inhale, keeping the toes flexed, shine the inner knee, inner right knee towards the ground, and exhale it down. Inhale it up. Exhale down. Inhale to rise. And this time send it back. Circle it around and underneath towards the right elbow, out to the side. Rotating underneath. 1 more. Out to the side. And down and under. Now sending it back. Knee goes back, out to the side, and then up to the elbow and underneath us. 2 more this direction. Keep breathing. The core is strong but not rigid here. Last rotation this side. And then place the knee back onto the mat. Go ahead and adjust, wiggle if you need to. And then extend left foot back onto the toes. We'll inhale, heel lifts, chest pulls forward, look forward, leg in line with the hips. Exhale it down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last one, inhale up, and as you're here, hold and then rotate toes in and out. Trying to rotate that hip in its socket. 2 more each way. And again, legs are different. Go ahead and lower down. It's okay to take different options. Take it slower if you need to, side to side. All right, readjusting our stance if you need to, and then tucking the right toes under, keeping that foot flexed. With the inhale, we're going to lift the bent knee, driving the heel up, pull the chest forward, look forward. Exhale it down, tiger pose. Inhale. Looking forward, reaching the leg up. Looks great, everyone. Lower down. We'll take 1 more. Inhale, raise up. Look forward. Exhale down. This time, pull the right leg in and through, planting the right foot between the 2 palms. Front knee stacking over the ankle, back knee under the back hip. And then press into that front foot. Sweep the arms forward to rise up into low lunge. Great work. Good. Take 1 more inhale, reach the arms up here. And then exhale, we'll have the hands meet and come to heart center or to the hips or to some blocks, whatever's comfortable for you. Now, this left hip sometimes flares out, but we want to adjust it to face the front of the mat. And then begin tracking that front knee over the front toes, letting the left hip flexor lengthen toward the ground, keeping the chest up. Good, we can press in and out. Still using the breath here. If there's anywhere that you'd like to hold, you can do so there as well. Good, we'll take 1 more breath. With the inhale, come back to neutral low lunge, reach the arms up. And then as you exhale, the front leg will straighten, fold at the hips, hinging over, hands coming down to frame either side of the foot. Again, either blocks or the mat, or hands can be on the leg, lots of options. Trying to keep left hip stacked on top of the left knee and pressing those sits bones back. Breathing, giving your energy to whatever's stretching right now. You can feel free to move those hips around if you'd like. Move the foot. Again, rotating the hip maybe if you'd like. One more breath here and we'll flow between low lunge and half split. If that's not your option, you can just choose to hold one or the other. With the next inhale, plant the front foot, bend into the front knee. Arms help you travel forward and up. Low lunge. Exhale, press into that front foot to straighten the leg and sweep the arms down and back. Half split. Inhale up. Exhale down. And this can be now whatever pace you like. We're just going to find that flow, that alignment of our breath, our body, our mind focusing here, this moment on the mat. Letting our spirit enjoy the benefits of being fully present as we reach up to the sky and bow down to the earth. Find two more. Last round. Good. Meet back in low lunge. Arms lifted, inhaling it up. And then drop the hands down to the hips. Heel toe the right leg out to the side. Aligning the heel with the knee, hugging this knee wide, so using the glute here, keeping our chest facing forward. And then as you inhale, we're going to rock the knee over the toes. Exhale to press, rise back to center. Opening the right side inner thigh. So this is an area where our pelvis is in different orientations, side to side. One is flaring open and one is staying facing forward, staying our base. Good, we'll take one more side lunge here. Good, coming back to center, heel toe, right leg back to the front, and then we'll switch. So right leg comes underneath, right knee under right hip, left leg, left knee over left ankle, coming forward. Find your stance, shift that right hip to face forward. Inhale, reach both arms up, low lunge. Pause here for a breath, let the shoulders relax and settle down. Take one more inhale, maybe reach up with the fingertips. Exhale, hands meet to heart center. Good, begin tracking this knee over the foot and coming back up. So sinking the hips down and then forward. Keeping the chest as lifted as you can. Great work. I love everyone's knee alignment. It can be very often that it caves in or out, but everyone looks great. Take one more breath. Good, neutral low lunge. Take an inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, front leg straightens, press the hips back as you fold over, hands meeting blocks or the mat. And then beginning here, noticing what's present. Maybe sensation in the ankle, knee, hip, hamstring, low back. Just taking stock of what's there and breathing into it. You find that inhale, that expansion through the back. And as you exhale, maybe you find a little bit more softness to fold forward. Even just by 1 degree, incremental. Great work. Take one more breath before we flow. Plant that front foot, bend into the front knee as you inhale, arms sweep forward, pressing into the foot to rise up. Exhale, half split. Front leg straight and sweep the arms down and back. And then inhale up. So our arms are really helping us here with our momentum to travel down and up. Finding the flow on this side, inviting the oxygen to flow through the body, to flow through the blood, for the water to circulate through your tissues, to let creativity and ease be welcome here. Finding our pace, knowing that it doesn't have to match anyone else's. It is ours alone. Take 2 more of each position. Finding our way back to low lunge. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, hands to the hips. Heel toe, left leg out to the side. Good. Firmly planted in that left foot. We'll take an inhale as the knee tracks over the toes. Exhale to press back up to center. Inhale to open. Exhale it up. Good. 3 more. In the quieter moments of class, bringing back to mind our intention for today, for our sacral chakra. 1 more repetition, side lunge. Good, heel toe, left leg back to front, and then bring left knee back underneath us. So for this next position activity we're going to do in class is we're going to need 1 block, bring it to the left side. And I'm going to grab a softer block for myself. We're going to bring the left knee on top of this block. And if you'd like to, before getting into this, I can demonstrate what this is going to be, what it's going to look like. So 1 knee will be on the block, 1 knee will be off. We will still try to keep them about hip width distance. What's going to happen here is our pelvis is off kilter. So we're training to find our alignment with our sacrum by lifting the knee not on the block, about to be level with the block, and then dropping it back down. This is a very slight movement that you can feel in the sacrum, raising this knee up and then dropping it down. We're keeping the core engaged. So place the left knee on top of the block, hands underneath the shoulders, soften the elbows. Now with the inhale, we'll lift the right knee to hover next to the left, about the same level. And then exhale, drop it down. Do 4 more. Inhale it up, trying to level out like the back of your pelvis is a table. Exhale it down. Crooked table. Inhale it up. Steady, flat surface. Exhale down. Inhale it up. Exhale down. Good. We'll take 1 more this side. Inhale up. And exhale down. Good. Go ahead and remove the block from the left side and bring it to the right knee this time. Same deal. We're still in a good tabletop position where our joints are stacked under shoulders and hips, but just 1 knee is elevated. Now with the inhale, press into the block with the right leg, lift the left knee up, exhale it down, letting the hips shift, noticing what's there. Inhale it up, exhale down, inhale up. This is fine motor control. That's the word I was looking for. Exhale it down. 2 more. Inhale up. Working the little muscles of our body. Exhale down, or the deeper ones. Last one. Inhale up. And exhale down. Go ahead and remove the block. And then we're going to bring right leg forward and place the knee onto the mat. We're coming into pigeon, so we're going to bring the shin to be about parallel with the front of the mat. Coming down onto the hips, you can either extend the left leg behind you with the knee pointing down. However, if that's not your pose, then we come into 1990 with the left leg creating a right angle along the side here. So again, we want to try to have ourselves facing forward as much as possible. We'll inhale, let the chest, the spine lengthen, and then exhale, fold gently over this front leg. We can always have a block out in front to reach forward, to hold on to. You can hold on to the leg. And we find and listen to what our body is saying for this stretch today. You can always rock, move around, come in and out. Pigeon or 1990. We should not be feeling pinching or strain in the knee. And if we are, we just lessen the depth, widen the angle if you need to. Find 2 more deep breaths this side. Good. With your next inhale, press that front leg into the mat as you rise up. And then we'll swap. So swinging left leg around, right leg either to the right side of the mat or extended behind you. Keeping that left hip underneath the body as much as possible. As we find our positioning, we take that inhale and exhale to hinge over. Keeping that long spine, again, no curling forward or doming into the back. We keep that chest shining forward. And we can use that breath here. Inhaling, inviting expansion into these areas, into the hips, the back, the legs. And then exhale, inviting relaxation, lengthening of these areas. Again, follow the creativity or the flow of your body. If something is like, hey, I want to explore this, I want to move, take that invitation. Finding 1 more deep breath. Good. Inhale, come back to center. And we'll return to tabletop. Knees coming underneath, hands under the shoulders. Now as we find tabletop, walk the hands forward, shift the hips forward, creating a gentle line between the ears and the knees. Pull the shoulders away from the ears down the back. Pull the core in for half or supported plank. Soften the elbows here. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, elbows bend, keeping close to the rib cage, lower the upper body down. Inhale, head, neck, and shoulders reach. Press the pelvis into the mat. Exhale, lower head, neck, and shoulders down. 2 more, baby cobra. Inhale to rise, pulling those shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, lower. Last one, inhale up. And exhale down. Good. Hands underneath the shoulders. We're pressing back to our knees. Stack the hips on top of the knees. Walk the arms forward and let the chest sink down towards the mat, opening through the arms, the shoulders. And the forehead can meet the mat or a block here as we reach the sits bones back. For puppy pose, alternative to down dog at any time. Find 2 more breaths. Good. With the next inhale, walk the hands in, coming back to tabletop pose. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Long spine here. Tuck the toes of the left leg, or left foot, I should say. Inhale to tiger, pressing the heel up, knee rises, pull the chest forward as you would in cow pose, look forward. Exhale it down. 2 more, inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. As you exhale, pull the left leg in and through to plant between the 2 hands. Stack knee over ankle, back knee under hip. Inhale, travel forward, coming up, low lunge. Exhale, half split, legs straight and sweep the arms back. 2 more of each position. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half split, long spine as you fold over. Inhale up. And exhale down. Good. Inhale, come back up to center. And then we're going to drop the hands to the hips. We're going to turn to face the right side of the mat. So rotating the bottom knee. And then we're going to reach the leg towards the front of the mat. And then we're going to turn the toes also to face the right side. So keeping this, my sides are getting all wonky here. Keeping the right hip over the right knee, left leg extended, facing right. We're going to inhale, arms to a T. So this is our gate pose. Tuck, if the tail is flaring out here, tuck it underneath you. Take a big inhale. Then as you exhale, let the front arm drop down the leg, back arm reaches up towards the sky. Maybe looking up towards that top hand. We inhale to reach up. As you exhale, maybe walk the left fingertips down the front leg. 1 more breath here. As you exhale, come back to center, arms to a T, and then drop the back arm towards a block or the mat, reaching the opposite arm up. Great. Good. 1 more breath here, and we'll flow between the 2. Press into the bottom hand to come to center. Inhale as we reach up. Exhale back to center. And inhale, other way. Good. 1 more time, each way. And then meeting back in center, we're going to turn back to face the front of the mat. Let's see where I'm at. Good. And then we're going to find our pigeon on this side. So hands come down to the mat. Bring the left leg bent about a 90-degree angle facing the front of the mat. Right leg facing the side of the mat or extended behind you, and then hinging over, long spine. Just to note, I felt a few drops. Sometimes the weather changes quickly. If that does happen, we'll have a little fun and we'll move inside. Take a big breath here. Good. With the next inhale, slightly lift the chest, not a full rise. And exhale, flow over the front knee. Inhale up, pressing that front leg into the mat as you rise. Exhale over. Good, 1 more. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. Looks great, everyone. We're going to bring the legs underneath us, finding our way back to tabletop. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Find any adjustments that you might need to make, and then tuck the right toes under. Inhale, right heel lifts, knee stays bent. Pull the chest forward, look forward. Tiger. Exhale it down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last one. Inhale up. As you exhale, pull the right leg through, planting between the palms. Knee stacks over ankle, back knee under hip. Inhale it up, low lunge. Good. Exhale, half split. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, fold over, front leg straight, reaching the sits bones back. Inhale up. And exhale, half split. Good. Inhale to rise. This time turning to the left, rotating the knee underneath you towards the left, reaching the right leg for the front of the mat. Is that correct? Yeah. Pressing into that long edge of the foot as the toes point to the left. Inhale, arms out to a T, shoulders soft. With the next exhale, front arm drops, down front leg, back arm reaches up, either towards the sky or you can reach it over the top ear. Pausing here, breathing deep into the opening side. One more breath. As you exhale, coming to center, and then dropping, back arm down, front arm reaches to the sky. Pausing here for a breath or two before we flow for gate and reverse gate pose. With the next exhale, press into the bottom hand, coming to center. Inhale as front arm drops down, back arm reaches up. Exhale to switch. Good. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, switch. We'll take one more each way. And exhale, switch. Good. Come back up through center. Drop the arms down. Rotate to face front of the mat. And then finding hands down to the mat and bringing ourselves to sit down. Front right knee, leg facing the front of the mat. Back leg extended or on the side of the mat with us here. Take an inhale and exhale, hinge over, long spine, soft shoulders, not forcing anything. Good. With the next inhale, rising up, pressing that front leg into the mat. Exhale down. Inhale to rise. And exhale, lower down. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Great. Inhale up. Bring the legs underneath us. Finding tabletop first. And then from tabletop, either supported or full plank. So walk the hands forward, hips shift forward, staying here on the knees or tucking the toes and lifting the knees up. Strong pose here, plank pose, pressing the mat away, curling the low ribs towards the hips. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend into the elbows, chaturanga, down to the mat. Inhale, head, neck, and shoulders lift, shoulder blades pull down the back. Exhale, down, baby cobra. Hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the elbows in, tuck the toes, press up through plank, and then shift the hips high, reach the heels back as the chest comes down through the shoulders towards the legs for down dog. Here, pedal out your dog, bending into one leg, reaching the opposite heel back, and bring your awareness, notice how the hips are shifting, rotating, moving differently than the other side. Good, take one more breath, one more pedal. Then pause this pedal, look forward, And walk yourself up to the front of the mat, forward fold. Always can have a block here or have knees bent as generously as you need to. But try to reach the tailbone up and back and let the head and neck hang heavy. Maybe even rotating the head and neck side to side here. Good. Gonna find one more breath. Inhale, half lift, hands to the shins, flat back. Exhale to forward fold. Soft bend in the knees. Inhale, press up from the mat, circle sweep the arms up to the sky, looking up. And then have the hands meet and exhale to heart center. Great. Find your mountain pose here. Feet hip width distance apart. Stacking knees on top of ankles, hips on top of knees, chest on top of hips, shoulders on top of chest, and reaching the crown long. Hands can stay here, or you might open them out to the sides. Noticing how you feel in this moment, how the pelvis feels, remembering your intention today. And then stepping left leg back, just a step. We'll bend into the front knee. Turn the back heel slightly in, toes slightly out. And then inhale, arms reach up, warrior one. Good. Again, in this position, the left hip might try to flare out. Rotate the pelvis to shift towards the front of the mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, left arm drops for the back leg. Reach the right arm up and over for the back left corner of the mat. Maybe bend a little deeper into that front knee. Good, one more breath. With the exhale, we'll return up to center, arms reaching up, and then drop the arms down. We're going to step this back foot all the way back, turning open more to face the left side of the mat. Back foot is parallel with the back of the mat. Front heel aligns with the middle of the back, or the heel of the back foot. Good. We're gonna bring arms open to a T. Warrior two for just a moment, front knee bent. Then we're going to straighten that front leg. Take an inhale. Exhale, front arm drops down the front leg, back arm reaches up. We can have a block here on the inside of this front foot if you need for triangle pose. Good. Find one more breath. Bend slightly into the front leg, press into the front foot. Back arm sweeps down, raising up. Front arm to the sky, back arm down the back leg. Front leg is straight for reverse triangle. Good, we're gonna find our flow here between the two. So take an inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward, front arm down towards the leg or the block. Back arm reaches up, maybe looking up towards that top arm. Good, with the next exhale, press into the front foot. Front arm rises, back arm drops down. Take an inhale here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Good, one more each way. Exhale, fold. Triangle, Trikonasana. Inhale up. Reverse triangle. Good, come back to center. You can drop both arms down. We'll find a wide stance facing the left side of the mat. So heels in, toes out. Find your Varun Mudra, connecting pinky and thumb. This seal that helps us focus on the water element of our body. Now we're going to tuck the tailbone as if we're pressing the hips forward. Then shifting them to the back side of your mat. Then pressing the hips towards the back, maybe hinging slightly over, and then rocking them towards the front side of the mat. Good. Tuck the tail, circling around, back side, front side of the mat, and continuing in this pattern, letting the hips shift over, getting some rotation in those joints. And then the next time you're front, send it the other way. Pressing back towards the back of the mat, pressing forward, and then front of the mat. Listening and noticing what the body's telling you. Good, one more time. Great, as we come back to the front, we'll drop the arms down. We're gonna turn to the front of the mat. All toes pointing forward, and this is where we will find our warrior three. So I invite you to either have a block at the front of the mat. Does anyone want a chair if you need? Okay. So what we're gonna do here, soft bend in that standing leg, find your focal point, find your gaze, maybe starting from the block, maybe starting up, or hands to heart center, hands on the hips, whatever's comfortable. We're gonna begin tapping the back toes, preparing this front foot to take our weight, finding that focal point, and then lifting that back leg up. Trying to keep the hips in line here, kind of like we did with our hip mobility. Finding them to make a flat tabletop surface on the sacrum. Good, core is engaged. Strong, focused, warrior three. Great work, one more breath. As you exhale, bring that left leg forward, planted next to the right, and we return back to our mountain pose. Great work, everyone. Feet firmly planted, facing forward, returning to our breath and to our intention before we take the other side. Step that right leg back. Angle heel in, slightly, toes slightly out of the back foot. Front toes facing forward, bend into the front knee. Inhale, arms reach up. Warrior one. Settle those shoulders down, wiggle anything that might need to. Good, take an inhale, reach up here. Exhale, right arm for the right leg. Left arm up and over. Good, exalted warrior one. Did I say that right? So we're reaching one arm for the back extended leg and reaching the other arm for the back of the mat. Good. One more breath. With the exhale, we'll return to center, both arms reaching up. Step that back foot all the way back, turning towards the right side, turning the toes to face the right. Front leg stays facing forward. Open the arms to the T as you bend the front knee. Warrior two. Again, maybe tucking that tail underneath you if it tends to flare out here. Good, straighten the front leg. Take an inhale. Exhale, drop the front arm down the front leg, back arm reaches up towards the sky. Triangle pose. Again, hand can be on the leg, it can be on the block, it can be on the mat. Lots of options. One more big inhale. Soft bend into the front knee to press yourself up with the exhale. Drop the back arm down the back leg, front arm reaches up. Reverse triangle. Good. Option to flow between the two. With the next exhale, drop the arm, front arm down, front leg, back arm reaches up. As you inhale, we reverse. Keeping that front leg straight, reaching the front arm up. Exhale to fold. Trikonasana. Inhale, reverse Trikonasana. One more time. Exhale, fold. And inhale up. Good. Bring the arms, the body back to center. Turn to face the right side. Wide stance. Varun Mudra, connecting pinky and thumb. We'll scoop the tailbone under, pressing the hips forward. Shift the hips towards the front side of your mat. Send the hips back, pressing back, and then rocking them towards the back side of your mat. Continuing circles in this direction. And again, you can change the pace here. You can take it nice and slow and intentional, or if you'd like to bring about more energy, you can take those circles a little bit faster. Whatever your option is, we'll take one more circle. And then as we reach the front, we'll take it the other way, rocking the hips towards the back of the mat, pressing back towards the front of the mat and forward. Good. Just moving around the pelvis in different ways than we typically do, finding more freedom of movement, more ease. One more circle. Good. As we come to the front, we're going to inhale, reach the hands up. As you exhale, we'll find a wide forward fold. So hinge over long spine, hands coming to some blocks or the mat, knees bent as much as needed here. And again, shift the hips side to side. Find a little rock. Let the head hang heavy. Whole upper body being anchored down by gravity. As you send the breath to the hamstrings, the hips, the low back. Sending our prana there. Good, one more breath. Pause the rock, soft bend in the knees, scoop the tail under and roll the spine up to a stand. Great, turn to face the front of your mat. Still in this wide stance, all toes pointing forward. Option for the blocks at the front of the mat for our warrior three on the other side. So here, once again, taking that focal point, spreading the toes wide of the planted foot, soft knee. Tap the back toes, preparing that launch, preparing the nervous system, taking the weight on the left side as you're ready, flexing that right foot, pressing the heel back as it rises up, and we hinge over, strong through the core. Even option for Mula Bandha here can be really stabilizing. We still want to be breathing, not just holding everything. Good, take one more. With the exhale, bring right leg forward, standing ourselves up, mountain pose. Great work, wherever you are, great work. Inhale, circle sweep arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, press hips back. Pull the ribs towards the tops of the thighs as the hands meet the mat. Go ahead and pedal out that forward fold, letting the hips shift side to side here. Good, one more breath. Plant the palms, walk the feet back, and then either plank pose, hands under the shoulders, or lower the knees down for supported plank. Tuck the low ribs in, pull the core in. Maybe even squeeze the glutes here, full body engagement. Take an inhale and exhale, lower down to the mat. Elbows stay close to the sides. Inhale up, pressing hips into the mat. Baby cobra, exhale down. Good, we'll take one more. Inhale, baby cobra. Maybe hands out in front. Gently pressing into the palms if you'd like a little bit more depth. And then exhale down. Hands come under the shoulders. Tuck the toes, pressing up from the mat to down dog. Sinking the heels back, hips lift. And again, letting that neck reach down for the mat. Feel free to pedal here for a moment if you'd like. Good, take one more breath. Pause that pedal. Option for three-legged revolved dog. So if you'd like, you can inhale, left leg high, about hip level or a little above. Knee and foot is pointing down at this point. But as we bend into the top knee, sink the heel for the hip, the knee or the hips rotate here. Good. One more breath. And exhale, unrotate, place the left leg down, reestablish your connection to the mat through all 4 points, and then inhale for the right leg to lift. Good. If you're ready, you can revolve the dog on the right side, sinking the heel for the glutes, trying to keep the chest facing down as you reach the right knee for the sky. One more breath. And exhale, slow, controlled, lower down. Shift your weight over the palms, lower the knees down to the mat, and then take the knees wide. Toes coming together, sinking the hips for the heels as you walk the arms long, letting chest and forehead meet some blocks or the mat. This pose of surrender, I like to think of this pose, this child's pose, as a bow of reverence to our mat and to our practice. Good. Deepening that breath once again into the low back, into the low belly. One more breath. With the next inhale, rising up, coming back through tabletop. Knees stacked underneath us, hands. We're going to actually walk the hands slightly forward. And then we're going to shift ourselves into half plank and then maybe let the hips even dip slightly forward. Rock them back, find child's pose, sink the hips for the heels, arms reach long. With the next inhale, weight comes forward, reaching the hips towards the mat, towards the front of the mat, and exhale, sink it back. Good, we'll find 3 more. Inhale up, forward, and exhale back. Find your pace with your breath. Good. The next time that you're forward, we're going to bump the hips to the left and then sink them back, circling by the heels, rocking to the right, and then rocking forward. So we're making little circles on the wrists, on the knees, and with the hips. They can be as big or as small as your body calls for today. Also as slow or as fast. A little bit more intentional with the slow, or a little bit more energy, vigorous with a faster pace. The next time you're at the front, we'll switch the circles, rocking to the right first, down and back, and then to the left. Finding that fluidity. So again, only going as far as feels easy, comfortable, connected. Take one more rotation this way. And then come back through center. We're going to find our way onto our backs now. Transferring to a seat. Keeping the legs bent, so feet planted, knees bent. And then we're going to recline ourselves back. Good. As we're here, long spine on the mat, snuggle the shoulder blades underneath you, and then walk the heels in towards the glutes. Take an inhale, As you exhale, drop both knees to one side of the mat. You can always option to place a block underneath the outside of the bottom leg. Your next inhale, raise the legs to center. And then exhale, drop them to the other side. Good. Go and flow between the two. Inhaling up, exhaling to one side. Inhaling up, exhale to the other. 2 more each side. Meeting back with the knees pointing up, feet planted on the mat. Have a block nearby. Walk the heels in about hip width distance apart for the feet. Reach the fingertips down for the heels. Take an inhale first. As you exhale, scoop the tail, press into the feet and lift the hips up to the sky. Finding bridge pose. Pressure should become between the shoulder blades here, not the neck. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, roll the spine down onto the mat, letting the hips be the last to land. Inhale first. Exhale to press, pulling the core in, scooping the tail up and pressing the front of the hip bones up as far as you can. Good. The next exhale, slow roll down. Take one more inhale. Exhale to press, lifting hips up. Take a hold of your block. And on the lowest setting, so find the flattest side and place it underneath your sacrum, underneath your hips here, and let the hips lower down onto them. So just elevating this space above the heart. Letting anything that needs to come back to the center of our circulatory system. And then again, you might find a little bit of a gentle windshield wipers here, letting your sacrum be massaged by the block. We're not dropping the knees all the way to one side. If you can, or would like to, you can. But just a gentle motion here, gentle pressure. Taking care of this area that does so much for us. Find one more breath. And then meet back, legs in center. Press into the feet, lifting the hips up and sliding the block out from underneath you. Lowering the hips down. Bring both knees into the chest. Squeeze them into the chest, putting the hands on the shins or the knees, and maybe finding a rock side to side or back and forth. Good. Pause your rocking. Hold on to the right leg, straighten the left. We'll take an inhale, squeeze that right knee up towards the right shoulder or the chest. And as you exhale, let that squeeze relax. Take this knee over the left side of the body. Nice and slow. Maybe finding a block underneath that right leg. And maybe extending the right arm out to the side. If you want to turn this into a full body twist, we rotate the neck to look right. Now a little bit of jostling here, a little bit of moving the right leg or straightening and bending the knee can change the sensation of the stretch. You can see what works for you, what feels good. Find your breath into the low back. Good, one more. With the exhale, engage the core, bring the leg back to center, bring the left leg up to meet it. Swap sides, hold on to the left leg, reach the right leg long. Inhale as you squeeze this knee up towards the chest. And then let it relax. Exhale and take left leg bent over the right side. Maybe extending the left arm or rotating the neck. Options can be different side to side. Find a little bit of movement with that left leg, perhaps wiggling it around, straightening or bending the knee. Nice full breaths into the back, into the rib cage. Take one more. And exhale, engage the core, come back to center. We're going to have both knees up, squeezing them in. Finding another rock or two. And as you're ready, come to stillness. Place both feet onto the mat, and then let the knees drop to either side of the mat. Having the soles of the feet come to find each other. Finding reclined cobbler's pose. Here you can place blocks underneath the outside of the legs if you need, if it's a lot on the inner thighs. Or you can have the option to, again, pulse gently, butterfly wings, encourage movement in this area. Tune back into your breath, send big full breaths into the area of the low belly, of the pelvis. Inviting in ease, flow, creativity. Now this will be our last pose before we find Shavasana. So if there's any other movement that you need, if you need to grab some water or grab any layers, anything to be comfortable, please go ahead and do so. You're also more than welcome to stay in this position for Shavasana, or you can remove the props and gently slide the legs long on the mat. As you straighten out on the mat, if that is your option, wiggle the hips, snuggle the shoulder blades underneath you, and then bring arms out to the sides, palms facing up, or you can gently place the palms on the low belly, the pelvis. Coming to our last pose, our corpse pose. Soften your gaze or close the eyes. Relax around the area of the brow, the eyes, the jaw. Let the shoulders, the hips, the legs be heavy. And feel that sensation of the breath rising, pressing you into your mat, and softening, letting anything go that's not needed in this moment. I invite you to notice the qualities that you might feel in your Svadhisthana chakra. Returning to that intention that you set at the beginning of class. Does it land any differently now after breath, movement, and mindfulness? I'm going to give us a few moments here to breathe in Shavasana, to do nothing else but breathe and be. Do not try to control the thoughts, but simply let them come and go, not staying focused on any singular thing. If you do find you get distracted, come back to the presence of breath and of your body being held by the mat. To bring us back and to end our practice for today, I'm going to read a poem by an online artist named Mental Notes 1. This poem is called The Language of Water. Water never argues with the stone. It arrives softly, a whisper against the shore, a silver thread through the earth. Yet, given time, it carves canyons from mountains and shapes the world without a single demand. Life is much the same. There are seasons of rushing rivers, when dreams spill over their banks and every current carries us forward. There are seasons of still ponds, when nothing seems to move, yet beneath the surface, strength is quietly growing. The tide retreats and we call it loss. The tide returns and we call it blessing. But the ocean knows no difference. It simply follows its nature, breathing in, breathing out. The stream does not fear the bend because it trusts the path. The rain does not mourn the cloud because it knows it will rise again. And we, like water, are meant to move, to flow around what cannot be changed, to accept the things we cannot change. God grant me the serenity to nourish what I can, to embrace the ebb, to welcome the flow. For every river reaches the sea, not because it never struggles, but because it never stops becoming. And in that endless movement, water teaches the oldest lesson. Nothing remains, everything changes, yet somehow the flow continues on, like life itself, towards horizons unseen. Everything changes, yet somehow the wave continues on, like life herself, towards horizons unseen. Take another moment or two to intentionally close your practice with a round of breath, honoring your Svadhisthana chakra and its energy. Gently find some movement in the fingers and the toes, maybe finding a gentle smile on the face as you move the neck and the head, and blink some light into the eyes. Take your time, turning onto one side, and then joining me up in a seat. Thank you for your attention, for joining me in this practice. I appreciate teaching and being taught by practicing with you. The light in me honors and sees the light in you, and I bow to it. Namaste.